Well, when two teams shoot 8%, whatever we both shot, and there were two teams that played awfully hard. I thought that was the hardest we played in years, and I don't mean that in not complimenting our other teams, but we needed that kind of effort. We didn't shoot the ball great. Who am I proudest of? Well, I'm proudest that we had 8 turnovers. That was a big thing. Plus 10 on the rebounding was a big thing. Shooting almost 80% from the free throw line was very important. Costello, I think I'm just joining Allen Iverson, who needs practice. He didn't practice for 3 days, didn't do nothing. And so practice, I guess, is overrated. But the guy just sucked it up and played. And yet there was an argument in the locker room between coaches and the players on who got that hockey star. Costello definitely deserved it. But believe it or not, the guy that went 1 for 8 and had a bunch of great looks did a hell of a job on Trumbull. I know he got 24 points. I know all the things. I'm just telling you. Aaron Harris, coming from the beginning of the year when he struggled to guard many people, did an incredible job and didn't let his offensive woes. He had 4 great looks in the first half. Just couldn't buy a shot. Didn't let those affect his game. The other thing, I think when you can see a team more dialed in, and what I kept saying, we got to play smarter. We had so many timeouts that we came out of and scored buckets. The execution on those was great. Our fast break was probably as good as it's been in a couple years. And Denzel wore down. I mean, he wore down. He was walking on his knees there for a while. But when he can rebound like that, and I thought that was the one thing still missing from his game after he came back, it made a big difference. So it was a big win for us. It doesn't put us back in the human race yet. We got a long way to go. But I'm really proud of this team. I'm proud of the effort. I'm proud of my assistant coaches. You know, we had to weather some storms this week, and there weren't just storms out east. There were storms here, and I thought they weathered them. They competed. We just played 4 games in 10 days, and I thought we got an incredible effort. So, questions I'll take.
Were you surprised when Matt picked you up at the end of the game?
I was surprised that Matt played. I really thought that he'd play at the beginning. He didn't even really go through walkthrough. Give our trainer credit, give him credit. Yeah, I could use a ride once in a while. It's not all bad.
Tom, over here, one of the best crowds you've had in years. It reminded me of back when you had the streak. Could you talk about the crowd, please, even about a half hour before the game?
Yeah, I give the crowd credit. You know, I thought in the last game when they really tried to pick us up when we were falling down, that's what you need, you know. And tonight, they were off the hinges. You know, it was an incredible crowd, and to have 150 of our former guys back, hopefully a bunch of football recruits. I'm sure we'll get something, but I credit Nike, the uniforms, the shirts. You know, I know they're crazy, but 17-year-olds like them, and right now I like 17-year-olds more than 80-year-olds, so I'm going with that route. And I thought our crowd was sensational.
Tom, in talking about Aaron's defense, can you talk a little bit about the rest of the defensive job, guys helping out, protecting the paint, the things that they did?
I thought the first half we kept the ball in the paint incredibly well. Second half, I'm sure that their game plan was to go right in. They punched it in a couple times. And then, Melo started penetrating a little bit more. We got a little lazy on our step-ups with our bigs. But give our bigs credit. Even Didi, I was on him all night because he's got to learn to get up. But pretty good job for a freshman. And Costello was just off the charts. Kenny Goins gave us something. Schilling gave us something. And Denzel, he's back, I say 95% healthy, but I don't think 95% wind-wise. He was sucking wind there for a while, and I'm proud of Denzel. Somebody missed a couple shots. He'd had a triple-double, but more importantly, 14 rebounds is a ton for a guard against a team that was 6'11", 6'11", 6'10" a lot of the night. And give the kid credit. It shows what he can do when he's healthy, and our break, he pushed it pretty good, and that wore him down a little bit. That was the only negative.
Coach, you gave
Bryn the vote of confidence saying his shots were going to fall. When his first one did, could you see it lift off him, and how big was it to have him making shots he normally does?
You know, we ran the first play. It was supposed to be a tip play, and we thought Didi could win the tip, and he lost it by a foot. I think Didi was a little nervous there, but we were going to Bryn right away. I felt like we had to do that. We had to get him going. Last 3 games, he's really struggled, and yet every shot he took has been good, and I'm happy for him, too. There's nobody that works harder at it, and he played pretty good defense. I mean, a lot of guys check pretty good. Like I said, we ended up not shooting well. We scored 75 points because we got 17 offensive rebounds. I mean, Denzel, I think, got 3 off a missed free throw, 2 or 3. So a lot of guys did a lot of things.
Tom, 59 points from your 3 seniors, 2 of them playing through injury, 1 playing through a slump. It's just kind of a senior day-esque effort.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. You know, seniors are supposed to come through, and you know, when you look at Costello injured, Denzel, you know, he's back, but I mean, like I said, nowhere near the condition he needs to be in, and Bryn was in the biggest slump probably of his basketball career. You look at the shots he had in those games. You know, you look back at Nebraska, he had shot after shot, he just didn't make them. You know, and so that shows a little bit of character in those 3 seniors, and that they want to do something special still this season. And as I said, we were humbled 1 week, we're exhilarated the next, but we're still, you know, we're a good team. That's got to get a lot better here. We still got to we got a little bit of rotation. We got a couple guys that stepped up coming off the bench. I think we got something to build on now, and we're going to keep building.
Tom, you played only 9 guys tonight. Usually you've talked to us about having to play 11 or 12. Now, aside from the fact that your 3 seniors played above 30 minutes each, is this something that we'll see more of going down the road, playing this few guys? You know,
I think I made some calls to some coaches this week that have been struggling too at some major programs, and we talked about, you know, I just talked to them about what their philosophy was or what they're thinking, and everybody wants to shrink the playing group. You know, it's easier in a way, but it has to be earned. And, you know, and to be honest with you, we're still not, you know, completely sold on what we got, but we're taking some steps forward. And, you know, with Deontay in there, it lets us bring Gavin in, and Kenny now is playing better. I really thought Marv, I was going to give him a shot. I don't know if it's 9-man rotation or 10, but 9's still a lot. But it worked out, and in that game you had to play him. I mean, we thought there were times, you know, we only said, boy, if Tom, because we thought our break was really going, and we could have really pushed it. Zell just couldn't go. But that's a hell of a team, too. And Trumbull, I think he's a better player now than last year. I really do. I think he maybe doesn't score as much, although he did tonight. But he taking care of the ball. He makes some great plays. Oof.
Tom, can you talk about your team's play out of the 2 timeouts in the second half, the one that you called after they made the run, the one that Mark called when you guys made a 9-0 run, and how critical were both responses?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but for the most part, every time there was a dead ball, I thought we responded. We either made a shot or we got a good shot that didn't go in. And that means guys are a little bit more focused and wired in and executed a little better. So those were big plays. You know, I think sometimes I hold on to my timeouts, so I chewed myself out for the Iowa game and a little bit Nebraska and holding the timeouts, you know, with 1 less. And so I called one even with when they made 2 baskets in a row, which is not normal for me, but I like the way my guys responded. I like the way they executed coming out of those. I thought it was a big part of the game.
Last question here.
Tom, the last 2 games you guys lost by 1. Was the difference between those 2 games and this game, aside from making baskets, was there a difference in the game? Was there a new focus in this game?
Well, you think about it, making baskets, we made more baskets in both those games as far as percentages. We shot better in both of them. So I don't think it was making baskets. You know, when there was that scrum on the floor, you know, I thought of all our old guys sitting up there. I could just see Andre, you know, going hysterical and having some fun. And, you know, that made a difference. I mean, we got more loose balls. To out-rebound that team is big, especially the way we are right now. And, hey, Costello I'm telling you, he did not practice a second. He didn't go through a walkthrough. heroic effort by him. But I like the part about the three seniors, get maligned a lot for having seniors sometimes, and it's nice to see seniors get to do something special. As I told them, I was talking to Austin Thornton before the game. We were in the locker room, and the guys had just come in, and I said, man, I still don't sleep nights on these big games. I said, they're just special, and I said, I wish the players understood that this is a privilege, and this is an experience that the memories will last a lifetime to play in these kind of games, and you go out there and the students were so good and the crowd was so good and the game was good for us, not necessarily for them. And just accomplished another goal, and that was another memory maker, just one game, but a little special. And I got a party tonight for 200 of my former players and managers at my house. I'm going to have a good time. Thanks.